Myself every time, yo.
I was about to say, here we go again.
So StreamYard always do that to me. I forgot I put the loop on there, but
I hate that.
I can't stand it, man. I can't stand it. But what's up, fellas? What's going on?
What's up, man?
What's good, boys?
Got my boy Daniel. Got my boy Daniel in the building. I'm talking about. It's a good day when Daniel in the building.
Oh, it's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be.
You rocking the hat today, huh,
Mr. Mr. Original Fantasy Football Board himself.
Bro, the boards is what get me, bro.
So we are on episode 29 of the Nothing But Raider podcast. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat from My Dogs Podcast, Summer Queen, Anthony Estrada, For Life R Raiders Story. Of course, you have Cheeto Linus and Chris from Protect the Show podcast in the building. Of course, Mr. Daniel Ray himself, that's going to be talking a little bit of fantasy up here on the show today. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody here. If y'all have not subscribed to Cheeto Linus and Chris Protect the Show podcast YouTube channels, the links are in the description. And ain't that your Instagram name on
Yep.
Up, and make sure y'all follow Instagram Daniel Ray on 24 on Instagram. Hopefully he gets a YouTube channel soon. Hopefully he can talk his fantasy football. But how y'all feeling so far about training camp? You know, it's been a lot of talk about Jimmy G throwing all these interceptions, and everybody got
that's my quarterback. Leave my quarterback alone. We gonna start it right now. I'm getting it off. Y'all leave my quarterback alone.
You're about to know what my life used to be like every season.
That's my quarterback
every year, bro. I was there like, keep your quarterback name out my mouth.
So how y'all feel about that? Everybody's talking about how big he threw 3 interceptions this training camp and had that interception in training camp. I want to hear y'all thoughts because I know I'm in the locker room, so I am going to say something.
I'm cool. I mean, I'm not worried because the offense is going to get rolling. I'm not worried. I'm more hype about the defense. We never hear the defense, making plays like this, man. They's flying around. They're being physical. Josh McDaniels got them boys hitting, taking each other to the ground. Like, I love it, man. Jimmy, for one, Jimmy's pretty conservative for the most part. Like, he's not going to just be throwing picks like that in the games, man. So he's getting it out now, trying to knock the rust off. He's going to be all right.
Daniel,
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal, bro.
Oh, go ahead, Chill Lines. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal, bro. Either. I think it has a lot more to do with our defense, how they're going after the ball more, being more aware and where they should be. You know, none of this like, oh, let's not intercept nobody. Like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna get the ball, be ball.
That's your boy. That's your quarterback. They did that for.
And you know, like, but I like it because it's different because it's training camp. So Jimmy's gonna play different in the game. You know what I mean? Like Chris says, he's a very different quarterback in that sense where maybe he don't take those chances or those risks. Maybe he's doing it in camp right now, but trying to get used to the receivers, see where they're going to be at. But the fact you never heard this before out of our defense on our secondary, though.
I love it. Get it out your system now, man.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. My bad.
Every other social media account for like teams, because I've been like just seeing a bunch of highlights from teams from every camp, right? It seems to be when defense and offense are battling, it's iron sharpens iron, right?
Exactly.
Jaguars camp has been bumping Ridley, right? So it's like, why is it not iron sharpens iron with us? Why is it always got to be a negative, right? I love it. Like y'all said, it's a positive for the defense. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid now. I can't be more excited. I wore the 89 today. I am all in, boys. Let's go.
All right, now.
Is that the Trey Tucker though? Is that the Trey Tucker?
It's for Tucker. It's the coupe. It's the
there
coupe.
There it is. So if you need a Trey Tucker, holler at Cheeto Linus. Right. He got you.
And I don't even gonna lie, bro. That Phillies jersey looked kind of fly on me earlier today during that Phillies game.
Yeah, you was rocking it.
Oh, you wore it?
Yeah, I meant to tell you. He was rocking it.
Because the Phillies is having a double header because we had like a real bad rainstorm yesterday. So they playing right now on my TV. They playing the second game, but I did the first game and I had the jersey on.
Yeah,
that joint good.
Yeah, he was doing his thing. I was like, he was swagged out a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? I felt really good. But, in my opinion, I can say this: it's training camp. I don't know if Cheeto Linus, he's under the Instagram of Nothing But Raiders podcast. Me and my boy JT Sports. Shout out to my boy JT Sports. He covers all NFL. He was like, "Oh, so what's up with Jimmy G throwing all these interceptions?" I said, "Bro,
calm down.
Training camp. You want to get those trials and errors out now before you get on the actual field. We're not going to see Jimmy G in preseason. Let's just keep that real. We probably won't see Jimmy G in preseason. So people need to take a chill pill, get a shot of Henny, and calm it down. It's only 11 days into training camp? Like,
a week with pads. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course there's gonna be a lot of content creators out there gonna be saying, oh, what's gonna happen with Jimmy G? Aiden O'Connell's gonna take the job. Oh, please, with that clickbait crap. Kills me with it.
Yeah, man. And anyone that's tripping now, man, it's almost like they're just not in tune with football for real, like on that level, man. You know, so they're just going by, just surface level. But everybody knows this is where you try. You know what I mean? You try stuff, man. Like if you don't remember, like I remember vividly, especially living in Ohio, the Bengals training camp when Lamar Chase. When Chase was a rookie, he was dropping everything in training camp. They was talking about how they were like, man, this dude's gonna be a bust. He can't catch a cold. All this, and then once week one came on, he was lighting their ass up, man. I'm like, y'all gotta chill, man.
The top 5 receiver in the league now.
Yeah, y'all gotta chill.
They said he couldn't see. He needed the white and brown ball, the white stripes in college.
Yeah.
The reports were ridiculous out of
they were just going crazy. I'm like,
unreal,
come on, man.
And that's my receiver in fantasy, bro. Jamar Chase,
sir.
That's my dude.
Oh yeah, he gets busy. He gets busy.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go through the chat a little bit more. Ron Jeremy, what's going on? Menace, what's going on? The 805 Raider, what's going on? Queen V Raiderette for life, what's up? Raider Ben, what's up? Anthony Estrada, what's going on? Carla Jenkins, what's up? And exactly, Queen V Raiderette is training camp. It's training camp. I mean, nobody said nothing when Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield was throwing interceptions in training camp, but no,
they was talking about that. They was talking about that.
Yeah, but of course I don't even know if they made a whole article about it, but not as big as Jimmy G because we're
Yeah.
the Raiders.
Even
and we're
Mahomes, what was it, last camp or the camp before? Mahomes was throwing all kinds of picks. I'm like, come on, man.
He's practicing his behind the back throws now.
I
Oh my
know.
God. Here we go with the behind the back throws now. Here we go with that.
He better not try that on us, man.
Man, I swear, if they try some funny shit this year, we better find that shit, kill it, pick it off, something.
That ring around the rosy shit ain't gonna work.
I hope so. I hope so because I'm at a point where that's still stuck in my head till today.
Yeah, that was wild.
And just to watch the Netflix show Quarterback and actually knew they practiced for that against us, I was so pissed watching it.
Yeah, that was wild.
So pissed.
Yeah, that was a little salt in the wound on top for sure.
Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It added so much to it. But speaking of Jimmy G, because I'm not going to go in order of the topics, I'm gonna just go and wander around in the topics. But I'm gonna go straight into. Of course, we already talked about Jimmy G, and I don't know if I forgot to send you the topics, Daniel, because I just did a live stream like an hour ago. If Chris knows, I just literally did like a live stream on my second channel like less than an hour.
Hardest worker in showbiz, man. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I don't get no sleep, bro. I get no sleep at all. But it was a topic that I sit in the group chat that 2 reasonable expectations and 1 bold prediction for the Raiders quarterback Jimmy G. Now it's 2 reasonable expectations, but I want to know if it's reasonable to y'all. Now, she don't let us know where I probably found this this topic at. Just Blow Baby, by the way. But this is hopefully they get this shit right. Hopefully they do because we always got to call them out on their bullshit. The first expectation will be Jimmy Garoppolo will run Josh McDaniels' offense with more consistency than Derek Carr.
Duh.
Okay. I mean, how y'all feel about that? I mean, if y'all want me to read it out to y'all, I mean, do y'all feel like that is an expectation that will actually happen, that he will run it more than Derek Carr?
I don't think it's an expectation. It's a fact.
I think it'll automatically be.
Wait a minute. So this is the first time we actually agreeing with Just Ball Baby for the first time since we did this show? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Finish the article.
I think it's going to be way less deep threats, obviously, in my opinion. But yes, more efficient offense all around. I think that is the expectation.
All right, so it does say in the 2022 NFL season, it was supposed to be one of Derek Carr's career, as he has his best friend Devontae Adams lining up on the outside of outside of the receivers all season long. Blah blah blah. Adams widely considered his best wide receiver in the game, with Carr and the Raiders coming off a playoff season that year. Blah blah blah. Let's go straight into it. However, it's pretty clear from the outset of Carr struggling in Josh McDaniels' offense, it's also clear that Clear was not McDaniels' guy, which we know this already. To be fair, both tried to make it work at the end, but Carr was benched the last 2 games, which we knew about that as well. And the Raiders technically are still alive in the AFC playoff race. Now, entering Jimmy Garoppolo was a very well-versed when it comes to Josh McDaniels, running Josh McDaniels' offense, who has a lot of success doing so. Garoppolo will show command of the offense from the start in 2023 with so many weapons brought in this season, including Jacoby Myers from New England and Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. This unit has a chance to be downright explosive. That's what they had to say about it.
I think it's true. Like, you think about it, like, and the efficient is the fact that he knows how to run the offense. You can already tell he's more comfortable with him, the way he's talking to him. Yeah. It's his second year here with us. He's trying to change the way he does coaching. So it's just a different type of team, even with the difference in tight end. I know Mayer's way different than Waller was. Waller was a baller when he was here. Different type of tight end. Basically a big-ass receiver playing tight end. But now with Mayer and the other tight ends we have, they can do more of the offense that McDaniels wants, that type of tight end that he was looking for. So I see Jimmy just being able to ball out. Like Daniel said, I don't expect a lot of deep balls this year, and I'm fine with it. Like, even all the things like, oh, my God, Jimmy's messing up on his deep balls. We didn't expect him to be a deep ball quarterback when we got him. Like, we know what Jimmy is and what he can do. He can run your offense. He's efficient, and that's all we're expecting him to do, what he needs to do in order to win.
Y'all might have talked about this last week. Talk about how, like, potent our offense is. It was I saw this list in the sense it was like best receiving, like receiving teams in the NFL or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
heard about
think
that
we should be
article.
right up at the top with Cincinnati, in my opinion. I mean, if Renfro plays like we know Renfro can play, we've got Adams again. That's no worse than a top 3 receiver in the league. It's Jacoby Myers, high expectations. It's a balling offense, in my opinion.
All right, and shout out to everybody that's in the chat: Sebastian, Anthony Estrada, Jack Kenna. Um, just making sure I ain't miss nobody. Snoop Hernandez, what's going on? Shout out to y'all that's in the chat. Make sure I'm not missing nobody. Um, but let's go dunk and dunk. Oh God. That's crazy. But the second reasonable expectation that they have is that they saying that Jimmy G will bring swagger and championship DNA to the QB position for the Raiders. Now, I say that that's a yes, but we gonna get to the actual bold prediction of what it said. But it says this summer there already had different vibes around camp with Garoppolo as a starting quarterback, and he always brought a certain swagger to the position. He's also a guy who brought this team in deep playoff runs that has won some big games in his career. So it's something that he will be bringing to the position in 2023 and beyond. And they said the fans did not like the fact that the Raiders punched their ticket to the playoffs only twice during a 9-year run at the position and putting together a 63-79 overall record, while Garoppolo has not made as many starts as Carr his career, only a total of 57 against 142 for Carr. But there's no denying his winning percentage is impressive at 70%. So that is the second expectation that they have. But the bold prediction is this: Jimmy G would play 16 plus games and lead the Raiders to the playoffs. Quick thoughts.
I do think Jimmy's gonna stay healthy. The playoffs is all about if we take care of JJ. I know I keep coming back to that. But we got to take care of our beasts with JJ. Happy JJ. I think I like that. I think for one, I think he's going to stay healthy because it's a different style offense. It's timing, it's quick hitters, it's quick reads. He's not going to be out there doing naked bootlegs all the time and taking hits and all that stuff that the 49ers do, because that's why all their quarterbacks get hurt. I mean, we think back at Brady, it was for the longest time, Brady always had the stat of getting the ball out the fastest, like under 2 seconds. Like that was what he was known for. And it's not just because Brady's just, super amazing, but it's like Brady was smart. He made quick decisions. He knew where he wanted to go, and he got the ball there. Jimmy's not Brady, but I think that he can run the system though.
What's going on, everybody? All the new people that's coming into the chat, really do appreciate y'all. So, what it says in the article, and it's not really saying much, but we all know when healthy, and I'm gonna be completely honest, when healthy, Jimmy G is a all-pro level quarterback when he's healthy. So, to me,
I like
the only reason why I say this is because he was with a all-pro team.
Yeah.
So that makes him all-pro because he was an all-pro team with the weapons that he had was all-pro. I mean, CMC and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle was all-pro in themselves, and then you have a defense with Nick Bosa. So I mean, he had his success with the 49ers, and of course he had an effective running game, and that goes back to what Chris said. If we could have a JJ back soon, which we will get into the next topic, will be fine. I think he could be Pro Bowl worthy if he's 100% healthy and Josh McDaniels is comfortable with him, which I think he is. They played with each other before. It was a coach quarterback situation back in New England, but past is the past at the end of the day. It's a new day, it's a new era. And we just going for me, we just have to figure it out. I mean, any thoughts before we go?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. You might be reaching a little bit. I want Jimmy to do great. I want Jimmy to do great, but I don't think Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy has the capacity to ever be all pro. Now, I mean, that's just being honest. Can we talking about all pro? That's what the top 3 quarterback. There's no
not even top 10. Not even top 10, bro.
Well, I mean, to be an all pro, you got to be like a top 3 or 4, right?
Top 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, there's no timeline in any multiverse that he's ever that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even think he's top 10.
So would you put Kirk Cousins all pro over Jimmy G then? If that's
I would put Kirk Cousins over Jimmy G.
No, I'm so glad you just said Kirk Cousins
will never be all pro either, though.
But he's not all pro either.
Yeah, he'll never be. Like when you talking about all pro, you talking Burrow, Mahomes, Allen.
No, all those 3. That's elite. That's a different level. Then you have all pro. It goes in tiers.
Okay.
Then we'll just say elite, we could go Jalen Hurts. We could go Patrick Mahomes.
Why Jalen Hurts first?
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general. Well, I mean, let's be completely honest. I mean, Jalen Hurts just had just as good of a year than Patrick Mahomes.
But that was only one.
He's a Philly boy. He's a Philly boy.
I know. That's why I said.
No.
Everybody knows number 1 is Mahomes.
I respect the game in the way that Jalen Hurts came into the NFL. He had first. So
he's doing his thing.
So that's why I said, like, when it comes to elites, it's all about tiers. And I feel like Jimmy G could be in that all pro tier, but not in that elite tier.
Okay, so if all the quarterbacks were tiered, like you're saying that if he would be like a tier 2?
Yeah, all pros like tier 2 to me.
So you're still saying he's top 10? You would put him in your top 10 quarterbacks?
Well, when it comes to elite, you gotta have your top 10.
Okay, right.
Your top 10, and then I think Jimmy is between that 15-20-ish.
Oh yeah, but that's not. Yeah, that's middle of the road. That's middle of the pack.
Middle. Yeah, that's not all pro
just
though.
Because you have all that stats. I mean, if you look at it in the tier wise, you could put him in that 15 top 15.
Okay, but 15 is not all pro. That's
that's
pack. That's middle of the pack.
You literally the middle.
I don't think
32 teams, 15 middle of the pack.
I called Jimmy Gucci because he's just a designer game manager. The Kirk Cousins comparison was great. It's literally who I was going to compare it to. Where Kirk Cousins is kind of known for losing them big games, right? Jimmy G is like known as a winner. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're both game managers. Nothing's wrong with that. I don't know if it's getting us to the promised land, but again, yes, bold prediction. I was going to say win 10 games again, like you said. Yes, playing all 16 games and making the playoffs, definitely a bold prediction. But that would be awesome. Yes, that would be great.
That's a success. Now let me ask you this: so
I'd rather at least one more game. Give us 11 games, just to be on the safe side. Because the way the standards are now, since we have 17 game season,
10.
I'm not doubting 10 games. I'm not saying that's a.
We can do that.
Win. Yeah, especially
we can do that.
AFC.
But like for me. Jimmy G would have to have like a Rich Gannon type impact for him to be all pro.
Right.
And Rich Gannon like led the league in passing. Like he came out of nowhere with just
completions.
Balling. Yeah, Jimmy he's just not that dude, which is fine. We don't need him to be that dude though. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just
sure about that?
I mean, we don't need. I mean, I'd love him to be that dude, but he's not that though. He's not that. He's not that though.
I think that's the difference with Jimmy.
So that takes me to my next question. If he's not that, then that means he's not the quarterback for the future, right? That means
he's not.
We know
he's
not.
Yeah, he's not.
We know he's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing we keep saying is that he can earn that if he balls out. Then he can earn that shit. But right now, we know he's not the quarterback of the future.
Our quarterback of the future, our quarterback of the future has to be able to really go toe to toe with Mahomes.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, because we got to deal with Mahomes another 12 years.
Hey, Arch Manning's coming out in 2 years out of Texas?
Yeah, we gotta look at something like that. Like,
we come on with the Arch Manning.
And then we got Mahomes, we got Herbert, right?
We got to be successful in college football before we would talk about him coming to the draft.
That's that pedigree, man.
Right. No.
Just because you're the brother of Peyton and Eli doesn't mean you're gonna be a great 2. I'm just saying.
This is my whole thing with the stats. This is where I tell you stats are deceiving. You bring up the old quarterback, everybody talks about the yards, the numbers he put up. You bring up Jimmy's a winner. But when you look at why Jimmy's a winner is why you said it yourself. He had a great fucking team. Jimmy did enough where he didn't lose the games for these teams. That was his fucking job. Jimmy didn't have to go out there and win.
And
Yeah,
Jimmy
look
had
at the
the number one
difference.
defense in the
Yeah.
NFL.
And that's what I'm saying. But he
had the
never
number one
had to
defense
be.
in the NFL too.
But he never had to go out there and win. And the Raiders aren't expecting him to go out there and win. Run the fucking offense. That's why Chris said the most important part is getting JJ back. That's why getting JJ back. He has more weapons now. He's got Devontae. He's got JJ. The receivers that we have is he has more weapons. But other times he had a more complete team. He was brought here to run the offense and don't make those fucking stupid mistakes. Know where the ball's supposed to go and don't take those fucking risks. That's why he has a high winning percentage. When he had to win the game, he couldn't do it. Remember the Super Bowl? He had to make that throw and he couldn't make it.
No, it wasn't even that. That was on Kyle Shanahan. Let's keep it a buck.
But whether it was or
Kyle
not,
Shanahan stopped running the football. He stopped running the football effectively in that second half.
I get that part. But when it came down to it, they still had a chance to win, right? They still had that chance. And it's those all-pro elite quarterbacks that make those fucking throws.
So Matt Ryan's an elite quarterback because Kyle Shanahan took him to the Super Bowl? Was he an elite quarterback then?
At his time, he was. That he got his
Matt Ryan was not an elite quarterback when he went to the Super Bowl.
When he was at Atlanta?
He was.
Matt Ryan's from my city. He was not an elite quarterback.
He was in
at
MVP
the time?
talks for sure.
I never thought Matt Ryan was an elite quarterback.
But you also think Lamar and Hurts are great. There's a difference in quarterback. Matt Ryan was fucking elite at that time with that team. Is he stuck now? Yeah.
Look, Chris is thinking like me, like, okay, like.
Well, I just elite. I don't know.
Matt Ryan
at that time, yes, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was the reason they were winning those fucking games. Matt Ryan was the dude.
Yeah, see, to me, I don't know. I use elite sparingly, so
yeah,
right. But
you know what I'm saying? Like when you say elite,
when you think of the word elite, do you think of Matt Ryan? No.
All pro?
All pro, yes.
Well, his all pro is anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Anybody is his all pro.
That's not true.
Marcus Russell all pro.
Right,
to me, Tua got to prove to me that he's an all pro.
Matt Ryan was top 10 when he played, yes or no?
Was Matt Ryan what?
When he got those teams to the Super Bowl, was he a top 10 quarterback?
Yes, 1,000%.
That's not just because you're top 10 doesn't make you elite.
He was like MVP that year or something.
You're the one who said elite. I'm just saying he was good for that, but he was the reason that they needed him to win those games. He could make those fucking throws.
He's
a Pro Bowler, but
South, but okay.
Yeah,
but he made it.
Of course, when the NFC South, everybody else is garbage. Of course,
he still got through the NFC to make it to the Super. He beat who he had to beat to get to the Super Bowl. I get back then the AFC was the ones
lost 26-3, 20 in a 20-point comeback by the Patriots. That's that's going to stick with him for the rest of his life. But
is that on the coach or the quarterback?
That's on everybody. That's a team loss.
So what's the difference when the Niners lost the Super Bowl?
That's a team. And I stated it. I stated it with Kyle Shanahan. Like Kyle Shanahan should have kept running the football effectively in that second half in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs because the Chiefs had no answer, and they started throwing the football. And look what happened. Kyle Shanahan was a part of that Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons too. So did he learn his lesson? No, he didn't learn his lesson there either.
I forgot he was part of that.
Yeah, remember he was there.
He was the offensive coordinator there.
Forgot about
27-3.
He was the offensive coordinator there, and then he went back to the Super Bowl as a head coach and did the same shit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I forgot about that.
But I mean, the whole thing we were saying was about Jimmy being all pro.
I think he can be. I really think he can be.
Right?
I don't think so. I'm sorry, man.
I think it's possible.
I think he needs to be for us to make the playoffs.
I don't.
Yeah, because you're running in more with JJ.
Yeah.
JJ. Yeah. You're lying more.
Yeah, if he has JJ, will he still be an all-pro quarterback if he had JJ?
I don't think he needs to be at that point.
Do he needs to be an all-pro quarterback?
Yeah, without JJ, yeah. Without
JJ, he needs to be,
Yeah.
For me, as much hype Jimmy G has been getting before those interceptions, it made it look like the Raider Nation was making him an all-pro quarterback. The hype that he was getting in the first 5 days of the training camp. I'm just saying.
I think they wanted him to be.
What I said.
You think what?
I think everyone like either wants him to be or they want him to fail. It just depends.
Yeah, it's one or the other because It's either you support the regime and you want him to fail, right?
I want him to prove the haters wrong that he could be 100% healthy and he could at least throw for 4,000 and have a better touchdown interception ratio.
Well, he definitely has that better.
Yeah, he'll always have that. That's just who he is.
Yeah, but you know these Raiders fans out here, they'll say like, "Oh, we want Jimmy G to at least throw for 3,000 and just a little bit of touchdown, and let just run Josh Jacobs 35 times a game." I heard that shit on Twitter, and I absolutely deleted Twitter. I deleted.
Yeah,
Twitter.
you can't do that shit no more.
I deleted Twitter. I'm not running Josh Jacobs 35 carries. I'm not doing that. That's not a balanced offense if you have Jacobs running the ball 35 times.
Nah, I feel you.
Not.
I agree.
And we got Spicy Girl Raiders.
Hey!
Right.
fellas.
Oh,
did y'all peep Spicy in the comments shooting her shot at Ron Jeremy?
Right, you saw that?
Oh.
We always
that.
We always watching, sis.
I peeped that. But we were just having a little conversation about Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if you heard. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo can be an all-pro quarterback for us?
Could he be?
Could he be?
Could he be? I mean, the competition's stiff. I don't know. Especially in the AFC. I think that's a stretch. I hope so. I hope so, but there's just too many good quarterbacks, and especially in the AFC alone. I mean, I'm trying to be realistic, but I just don't see it happening.
The AFC is tough when it comes to quarterbacks.
It's a very tough conference this year.
The AFC stacked.
It is stacked. So I want to get to Leo's Leo's topic that he sent to me about this. I think it was from NBC Sports. If you sent it to me, right, Leo?
Yeah, Mike Florio, NBC Sports.
The Chiefs Broncos are among potential suitors if Raiders rescind Josh Jacobs' tag. Now, let me tell you this.
Right?
If the Raiders even decide to release Josh Jacobs, they might just throw the whole season away. The whole season away.
Throwing him away to those teams.
Don't get me started. You already know where I stand. Because half of y'all fans out there think JJ is a dime a dozen running back. Y'all drive me crazy with that talk.
Wait, who said he's a dime a dozen?
Most of y'all. I don't even know who.
Some people out there think that for some reason.
So many people, man. Then they want this running back. In fact, Port's running one of them.
Committee.
Port is down there, and he's about to start talking about Sincere McCormick here in a little bit. He's going to start doing stats.
They think anybody can put up Hall of Fame numbers.
He said Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert. Come on, bro.
But see, that goes back to basing it on wins. He has a better winning percentage
than both of them.
But does that make him a better quarterback?
He's not better. He's not.
He might be better than Russell Wilson. It depends on how Russell Wilson played this year, because Russell Wilson was terrible last
year. Russell Wilson, but Seattle Russell Wilson?
No, not Seattle Russell Wilson, no. Yeah. But rescinding his contract. What are y'all thoughts on that? That I don't know if y'all read the article or seen the article, but how y'all feel about that? Do the Raiders really think they're going to rescind his contract?
So if they did, I think it would be at the point of if Josh kept holding out and Zeus and all of them just start balling. If they just started balling and they just said, okay, we feel comfortable, we can move on. So then they'll save that 10 million, and then they might figure, okay, we can do something with that 10 million. I mean, I don't see it happening, but honestly, if Zeus and them start playing at an all-pro level or something, and if it really is the system and not the player, then they may do that. But I think that for one, they would have to really figure that Josh is not going to sign. So they would have to get some kind of intel to know Josh is done. He's not going to sign. He's going to sit out the whole time.
Yeah, and I saw something different. I saw an article saying that the Eagles were the front runners, and I can't remember who the other three were, to be honest. But I didn't see the KC Denver article.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's his choice. So really, it's wherever he wants to go. So he may want to go
if the Raiders recede, and that's the key part. When I saw that article,
right,
it pissed me off because it's stupid. Even if he didn't sign, the Raiders would get nothing just by rescinding him if the fucking other running backs are going off, right? Like at that point, if you're getting to that point where this dude is telling you, you know what, fuck that, I'm not gonna play with you, and these other guys are balling, and he's asking you, just let me go so I can go somewhere else. Nah, you ain't going nowhere else. Why? So the fucking Chiefs, Broncos, Philly, whoever can sign you and come whoop our ass? Nah, I ain't doing that.
And number one, the Philadelphia Eagles don't need a running back at this point. They
Right.
just traded for DeAndre Swift, and
true.
they still got Boston Scott, and they still got I know Miles Sanders left, but they still got a whole running back by committee. They just traded for DeAndre Swift this past season, which is a Philadelphia native. But I don't know about the Eagles Broncos.
And it's articles like that get thrown out there to make you get pissed off at the fucking leadership in our team.
Yeah, that's
you're
all
like,
it
you're
is.
so
It's that
stupid.
propaganda.
He's gonna go to the
Going either
Broncos.
way.
See, he's gonna go to the Chiefs. When it's like, dude, nobody's letting him go. That shit can only happen if the Raiders are stupid enough to rescind that contract and let him walk. But as a business, I wouldn't let that dude go anywhere. I love JJ. I'm one of the biggest JJ's fans. I am. I wish he was still here. But as business sense for the team, if by that point you're not signed, no, I'm not rescinding it just so you can go anywhere. If you're going somewhere, you're going to agree that you're going to sign, I'm going to trade you because I'm going to get something for you. That's the only way I'm letting him go.
So it says that the options that they have are limited at this point. This is according to the article. It says that Jacobs, it says the first option is Jacobs accepts the 10.1 million for one season. The second one is that Jacobs and the Raiders work out an enhanced deal with more money or a promise that it won't be tagged for 2024. The third option is Jacobs skips all or part of the regular season for the Raiders trade Josh Jacobs in his 1-year deal. Number 5, they have the Raiders rescind the franchise tender and becomes a free agent. Or, and they saying that option 5 can still happen, whether if the goal to get the fans or the media on board to persuade owner Mark Davis that is right to move and pocket the 10.1 million and move on from the Raiders, quite possibly are setting the table, as they say. We tried everything. Let's just let him go. That's what it says in this article.
Or option 6 that I've been saying for a long time.
Which is,
but it's so true. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how people don't think that could happen. Like, right before week 1, he can sign that tag.
Yeah.
And then he can have, he can twerk something or not twerk something.
Twerk something.
All right there.
Like Barkley's deal.
Yeah, but I mean, he can twerk whatever, but he can tweak something in practice and it gets exaggerated, and he'll do basically what Jalen Ramsey did, or Waller, whatever. But I mean, what Jalen Ramsey did? Jalen Ramsey, remember when he was with Jacksonville? He basically forced a trade out because he was hurt. But everyone knows he wasn't. He exaggerated. He got traded, and then he's back. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone acts like, he won't do that, which, I mean, it would be petty. But at this point, he feels like this is something personal now. So, like, if he got to that point, like, a lot of people act like JJ don't have that much leverage. He has more than what people say. It just depends on if he wants to be petty or not.
Now, I don't know if y'all saw that. Let's see.
Oh, I don't know. I don't see it as petty, but.
Well, no, I mean, but a lot of people would consider it petty. But I mean, if he does do that, that's
on whose end, though? I would argue to say that it's more petty on the Raiders' end. I mean, the Raiders, you're $2 million away. They make $2 million on a one day at a home game. I feel like that's a little more petty. No, I like JJ standing his ground.
No, I
Spicy, I agree 100% to where it's like JJ. I mean, he's done everything for us. It's like, it's the hero turned villain. It's only because we made him turn villain. You know what I mean? Don't blame JJ for it.
He called it out before it happened. He called it out before it happened.
Yep, exactly. So, like, don't even blame JJ. It's all on management.
Yeah, we can't blame JJ, but this is the thing that can happen if you do want to restructure that $10 million. You could do what Saquon did. He got that $2 million upfront bonus that came out. That's, mind you, signing bonuses come out the owner's pocket, not the salary pocket.
That's true.
Mark Davis, hello, get some of that money out your pocket and give him a little bit upfront money on top of trying to reconstruct that 1-year contract. And then once that $30 million is off the books for next season, sign him to an extension, sign him to a better contract. But I think Josh would take that if you give him $3 million up front from the owner. Why not?
Wasn't that part of the big reason for the Raiders moving anyway to Vegas is to have more money?
Yeah.
To be able to acquire players, so it's more
Like Jerry
intriguing
Jones
to
does.
play
Yep.
in Vegas, and usually you have that money. Mark Davis is worth almost $2 billion now.
5.
Not with that haircut, he's not.
Anyway, he's worth a lot more. He's worth billions of dollars. A signing bonus is chump change. You know what? I think it just sends a bad sign to people where if you work hard, you do your job, you become the best you can be, and we're still like, you're not worth us spending money on. I don't like it.
I hate.
And I hear that part, but what about the fact the report was that it was offered 12 per year, but then
for 1 year
the
though,
length, right?
That's what I'm saying.
The report was 12 per year for 3 or something like that.
I ain't hear that.
Now I heard it was for 1.
Yeah.
I heard it was for 1. Yeah.
I bet if it was 3, I bet he would have took it.
Yeah, and what was guaranteed out of that?
It was for 3 years.
Yeah, but I think
the amount was guaranteed.
That's what it was. Is how much was guaranteed out of that 12.
I think $12 million is enough for me. And if you could give him a 1 year,
that's for
$12 million, and you could give him. I'm trying to explain. Like for me, if I'm Josh Jacobs, right, I'm ordering to give me at least $3 million up front and $12 million guaranteed. Give me a $3 million signing bonus. That's $15 million right there.
They offered him 12 and he said no.
Yeah, but just
because of the 1 year.
Yeah, because of the 1 year. But if Mark Davis would have been like, okay, I'll give you $3 million up front of the signing bonus, that had nothing to do with our salary.
That's what I'm saying. That part never.
That would have added up to $15 million for 1 year. I think he would have took that.
I think he just wants a little respect too. It's not all about money, and that's why I don't think it's petty. I think it's more about respect, and I actually respect him for commanding that.
No, the reason I say petty is because if you get to that point, you got to be totally over the Raiders. You know, because because that's almost at the point of no return. If you're like, okay, my back hurts, whatever, I'm just sitting here, I'm gonna collect these checks, because then you know that they're not going to franchise you again next year, because then they'll have to pay $12 million next year. If they
next year if they do that, it'll be 12.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, well, if he does that, we'll just franchise tag him again. No, they're not going to pay him $12 million to do the same thing. They're not going to. So I don't know. I respect. I mean, again, I'm always Raiders first, but you have to take care of your people, man. You preach about being homegrown, taking care of people you draft.
Yeah.
That's a prime example, man.
No, I get that. Yeah, it's tough, bro, because you want to love Jacobs, you want him to play out there, you get it. But then as a Raider fan, you're like, hey, bro, get on the fucking field. Like, what the fuck? 12 million is a lot. You should have signed it without fully understanding like everything else that comes with it as a player with that respect. Like, I'm old school. You called me old school the other day when I told you I used to hang out with my old school friends. We valued the running back position back in those days.
Oh,
that was the main fucking position, Yeah. It was the running back, the quarterbacks. Now it's like with this whole running back
the NFL feel like the owners feel like they don't need that type of running back like Josh Jacobs. Okay, we got these quarterbacks getting paid all this money now. We don't need those type. We could go get a running back. We could replace a running back with a 7th rounder or a 6th rounder, and we'd be good. That's what the NFL has came down to.
And Daniel said something fire on my show like about a month ago or whatever. He's like, I mean, we don't have to follow the NFL. We don't have to follow that trend. It's such a Raider move to do it our way and pay the dude to say running backs aren't going to be devalued. Like that's a Raider. Like, again, I know Al Davis did some, the game passed them by towards the end, but Al Davis wouldn't allow this. Like, he would have took care of his guys, man. And
agreed.
And again, whether it's right or wrong, Al took care of his guys. He may have treated his players or his coaches like shit, but he took care of his guys. That's a fact.
He sure did.
Oh man.
He sure did. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Are y'all excited for the preseason game?
Hell yeah.
I am, yeah.
Of course, it's the 49ers. Of course, is always gonna be all right no matter where we at.
Not for me, because I'm not from the Bay Area.
I know you were saying that.
See, Los Angeles.
What are y'all looking forward to in this preseason game? Like, what players that you want to see, succeed in this one? Because I have a few, But I would like to go around the panel and see who y'all like this. Who y'all like to see, go up against the 49ers. We know Jimmy's not going to play. We know most of the quarterbacks for the 49ers not going to play. We know so most of the starters is not going to play. But as far as our rookies, undrafted, or some other guys that's been on this roster, who is y'all looking forward to seeing in this game?
I'll start. I definitely want to see. I want to watch O'Connell. I want to see what he does. I'd like to see him play well. I'd like to see Zeus play well. I'm not sure how much he'll play. But I really want to see that defense. I would like to see some of those young guys, the second year, third year players, kind of step up and play. So, yeah.
So anybody defensively that you feel like is going to stand out outside of just the whole defense in general?
So I really want to see, because again, I don't know how much they're going to play, but I want to see Morick. I want to see him get some good reps. I want to see. I definitely want to see.
Is one person you not naming? I'm waiting for you to name.
No, I'm not going to name him. I'm not going to name him. I do want to see Jacorian Bennett. I'd like to see him play well.
Bennett to win it, exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
I want to see our young 7th round pick, Nesta Jade Severa. I don't know what it is about that dude. I say him in every show. I like that dude. I want him to ball. I'm gonna watch.
So you don't want to see no Brandon?
Stop
Parker?
it. Your uncle, man. Your uncle Brandon Parker.
Hey, leave me alone now. Leave me alone. I really thought you was gonna say Trey Tucker, because that's one of the guys that I want to see.
I do want to see Trey.
Because we traded for him. He was our 3rd round pick, and I really want to see what he could do as far as the wide receiver go, and as far as if he's going to return kicks. Because I do want to get Renfro away from returning kicks.
I don't think we'll see Renfro returning the kicks.
He better not.
Those days are done. Yeah.
So a lot of the rookies is what I'm mainly interested in. Like you already said, O'Connell, definitely Trey, Bennett for sure was going to be my number one answer.
Yeah.
Obviously Michael Mayer. Hope to see him out there a little bit. Trying to think of who else.
Leo's boy.
That's my boy.
I mean, is anybody going to be returning kicks these days with these new bogus rules? That's
only punt, if anything.
Yeah.
Right? Slow the game down more, make it a little bit more boring, and cut to commercials more often for more advertising revenue.
Of course, man. It's all about that money.
I think now you're right. When we start returning kicks, it's mainly only punts. Kickoffs. It's like, man, you don't even see those anymore.
Trey Tucker, he was very well at punt returns at Cincinnati. So I'm saying, as far as punt returns, I could definitely see him out there for that. DeAndre Carter is out there, but I think they're gonna give Trey Tucker a shot as well in the return game.
I think that's who's competing with each other. I mean,
Tucker's him and DeAndre Carter,
team, but Carter is gonna be fighting for that spot. But like I said, special teams. But I'm looking for the rookies, bro, the young dudes like Adam Plant. Amari Burry, see them get some burn out there, because we know the first, second, third rounders, they're going to be out there. They're going to be on the team. But a lot of these, like, later rounds, no-namers, young guys, we call the preseason heroes. We talked about the preseason heroes. To see who our preseason heroes going to be and come out, the dude we're going to want to see. I can't wait to see O'Connell. I can't wait to see
me too.
I want to see him.
I want to see him too as well.
Because this reminds me, remember when our old quarterback got his start, we had Flynn as our quarterback? Right?
Yeah.
Schwab. Huh? Or Schwab. There you go, Schwab. Yeah. And he was doing horrible in training camp. He was doing horrible in preseason. And then homeboy had that game in preseason and then became our starter. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, holy shit. But that, and then, of course, seeing Michael Mayer, just so you guys can see.
One person I don't want to see is Brian Hoyer. I don't want to see him.
I think he will be like, I think he's on here like a coach, a player coach.
Yeah, he won't. To be honest, I bet he won't play. Yeah, I guarantee he'll probably be half O'Connell, half Garbers. Honestly,
would you want to see Jimmy at all though?
Yeah, totally. I was just gonna say that I'm totally on a totally different wavelength than everybody. Here's the thing. Under normal circumstances, when you have a good team like the Chiefs, right? You want to see the draft picks, the rookies, and that to see who's going to make the team because you already know you've got a great starting unit. here's the thing with the Raiders. Jimmy G has never taken a snap for the Raiders. This is a whole new system. I think the Raiders made the mistake last year with not giving Carr any snaps, with a new head coach and everything. And then you go into the very first game basically as a preseason game, if you will. It's the first time you're working cohesively as a unit. And to me, that doesn't make sense. I know people don't want to play because they don't want to get injured and stuff, but I think they have to take a few snaps together to get to learn the system, get how each other communicates and those types of things. So I actually do want to see Jimmy G play. And I want to see what they can really do on the field come game day. Because look, the season is not going to be easy. I mean, the season's going to start pretty rough, and you can't afford to lose the first 1, 2, 3 games because you're still trying to work out those kinks. To me, that's what preseason should be used for. So that's what I think they should do. They're probably not going to do that, but that's how I would use my time.
I'm with Spicy.
Yes.
I think it's one drive.
That's a good point.
One drive, even if it's one drive at the beginning.
But the thing is this, though, if you're going to have Jimmy G in there, that means you got to bring that whole starting offensive line out there.
Oh yeah.
You got to have all number ones out there, because there's no way you would have Jimmy G out there and you have him with number twos. That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, the whole thing, at least for 1 or 2 snaps.
Yeah.
Something. I want to see them in pads at least. Like, they're I don't want it to be game 1 and then it's the first time they're all in the field together. To me, that's not a winning recipe.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think the biggest takeaway needs to be what they do in these joint practices. Because because like the fact that we got 2 different teams for joint practices is big, because you can really get those live snaps, but it's more controlled. So it's kind of safer for Jimmy. And again, I'm with Spicy. I'm okay with at some point getting like a series or 2, but to me, I'd rather focus on those joint practices, to be honest, because it would kill us if something happened. And I know we can't think about injuries all the time, but if Jimmy gets hurt during the game, that matters.
But I mean, injuries can happen whenever, even
that's true too.
The question is how physical the joint practices.
Look at Joe Burrow, right? Look how he got injured.
Yeah,
he didn't even get touched when he got hurt.
No, he was running. He was doing a little run and then
rolling out, looking for me.
And that's scary because those calves can become Achilles really quick, bro.
And it goes back to what I was saying. If you look at the first couple of weeks of the NFL season from all around the league in itself, a lot of players get hurt in the first couple of weeks because they sit out those preseason games.
Yeah.
So their body is not loose. They're not. I mean, of course, you want to stretch, you're going to do all that stuff, but you sitting on the sideline for 3 games for almost 3 weeks, almost to a month into the season start.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be tight, and just because you stretched out doesn't mean they won't tighten up again. As a former football player, and I think anybody that's played football in general should know that sitting on the sideline is not a good idea. It's just not.
But when you're talking about playing,
go ahead, Chris.
No, but when you're talking about playing, we're talking about like a series.
Like a series, not a quarter.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Right,
it's like so we're talking about 7 plays. So it's not like sitting out those 7 plays. Like I don't know. I get what you're saying, but it's not like they're playing like a full half where they're getting really a lot of game time experience. But we talking about 7 plays. That's not going to be a make.
They used to do that back in the day. That's why I used to watch season games.
Yeah, especially that third game. They play like half.
Yeah,
they play like half.
They would play a half at least.
Yeah.
So you would see who the starter was going to be. And what they were going to.
Yeah, but now since it's only 3 games, that kind of sucks because there's no 4th game after that anymore.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
That's the sucky part about it.
So if
now
you did do like 8 reps, right? Like Spicy was saying, if you just did something like 4 to 8 reps every preseason game, though, because we're going to get 2 or 3 of them now. So it's like at least we would be at 10 or more reps just to have something overall, just coming in cold turkey. Yeah.
And if it went well, you go into it confident.
And speaking of cold turkey, when's the last time Jimmy G has seen live action?
It's
been a long time. So
November,
and we want him to see the first live action in the very first game of the season. I don't.
He went down back in November, right, against Miami.
Yeah, it was in November.
Yeah, it was November. So that's almost a year since he played
Almost
any
a
type
year,
of
bro.
physical live football.
And
Exactly.
I definitely, like I said, week one, I definitely
needs
think
to
we're
play.
winning. But we can't come into Denver just with no reps, ice cold. They're gonna be fired up with a new coach. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know they are fired up.
It's gonna be a tough game.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah, it will be.
Because you know they're tired of
and they
hearing us
beat up
say
their
they can't beat us in
their offensive
2019.
line this offseason too. So like they're trying to do anything in their power to get Russell Wilson back on point to the Russell Wilson that we all
And
know
that defense is already no joke. That defense was good anyway.
And they got Stiddy. They got Stiddy telling all our plays, man.
I totally forgot
about
about
you, man.
that.
Sean Payton knew what he was doing, man.
Who always makes fun of us for saying Stiddy?
They always
throw 0-2 out there when we bring up Stiddy, huh, Chris?
Hey, I like Stiddy. I don't care what nobody say. I like.
I love Stiddy. I think he was very young. He was very talented. I could have wished that we could have kept him though.
If we would have kept him, I would feel more confident going into this year.
Me too. Would. I ain't gonna lie.
I agree because he's been under the system.
Not a Stiddy guy.
Right.
See, there you go.
Not a Stiddy guy.
Not at all.
Man, that's my dude, man.
I think we wouldn't be as nervous as we are as fans if Stiddy was coming in as this probably being the starting quarterback. So
I'm more hype on O'Connell than Stiddy.
Yeah, when we drafted O'Connell, I was not happy at all.
But the question is, would we would have drafted O'Connell if we would have had Stiddy?
I think they were still going for a quarterback. It was just
all Stiddy did was throw twice as many interceptions as touchdowns, and he lost 2 games for us.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Now you're being a stat watcher. That's a fantasy football in there. The eye test is different, though. You know the eye test.
Tell me you weren't excited when you saw him running around.
Yeah, you know that eye test is different.
And those 2 losses wasn't all his fault either, though. Come on.
No, he's a fantasy football stat guy.
Oh no,
that's why the San Francisco game was his fault. As much as if we're giving him all the credit for having us in the game, how did we lose the game?
Colton Miller getting killed
by Bosa.
Yeah, like Colton Miller got destroyed.
The whole game at that.
I mean, Chris Jones owned him in the freaking last game. Oh my god, you couldn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like Stiddy's, man. Y'all
I know Carr had a bad year with his interceptions. I'm just saying, Stiddy throws a lot of interceptions as well. So
I told you,
I don't get the hype.
Just leave us alone. Let us have our hype.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think he should be the starter or anything, but I think he would have been okay to keep on the team. He would have been a good asset because he does know the system. I think he could have been better than some of the guys that are there now.
Yeah.
He could have been 3. It could have been Jimmy G, O'Connell, and then Stidham.
I do like that better than Collier and Garbage.
O'Connell over Stidham, knowing O'Connell is unproven right now?
Well, because you drafted him for a reason. You want him.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance, right?
You still have to compete for that number 2 spot, though. I mean,
okay, sure. I agree with that. Compete for the spot, see who gets beaten out. But as of right now, I would say you have to go with the new, young, fresh guy that you drafted as number 2.
And I think that's the difference. Yeah, you got to compete. Tell him.
So, I mean, okay. I want to get this out the way. What is 3 reasons from everybody? 3 reasons. What would be 3 things that would have the Las Vegas Raiders make the playoffs this season? What 3 things that have to happen for the Raiders to even sniff the playoffs this season?
Can I go first?
Yeah,
can I say Tanya Harding on Mahomes?
I was gonna say someone put a hit on
Harding, making stuff happen, taking it to her own hands.
Someone take one for the team. Take that fool out.
I'm not promoting violence. That was a joke. Okay, all right.
I think the number 1 thing for me, for us to get into the playoffs, if we could be at least ranked between 10 and 14 in defense, we can make the playoffs. That's 1.
I agree.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Chris. A happy Josh Jacobs if he's here.
Happy.
That's 2. And number 3, we can't blow leads.
Yeah,
we can't blow leads. I'm sorry. So I hope Josh McDaniels learned from that. Okay, look, Chris is not feeling that.
Well, no, I'm with you, but go ahead, Daniel. I know Daniel wanted to go.
Yeah. Number 1, in my opinion, is Josh Jacobs playing for the Raiders. That is number 1. Number 2, like you just said, I was going to say be top 20. Do not be 20 or later. Be 19 or better in defense, and I think another chance for us.
I agree.
The third one, again, it's you could go a million ways here, but I'm gonna just say let's go. Jimmy stays healthy.
Yeah.
All 16, 17 now. Jimmy's got to play 17, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Spicy. You go.
Whew, all right, let me try to find some positives in here because this is
Y'all about
tough.
to say Spicy's like just throw the whole team away.
You just gotta get
Tyron McDaniels.
Three things that gotta go well.
Let it all
Mark
out.
Davis. Mark
it all
Davis
out.
sell the team.
Move it back to Oakland.
I'll be realistic.
Move back to Oakland.
Pretty much. I'll be realistic. I'll try to stay positive. I think if we're really looking at what the Raiders can do internally and not look at what other teams we hope won't do and or all of the stuff Chris just said, which I would be okay with. No, I'm kidding. I will say keep JJ, make sure Jimmy G's healthy. And what Mad Max is trying to do is to prove that they are not a weak defense and become a top defense.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Cheetah Line, it's up there. It's up to you.
Look, number one for me is going to be putting pressure on the quarterback. If we can get 40 sacks probably total from the whole defense for the year, because of who we play in the AFC, putting pressure is so important. That'll be one of the main things. Number two would be Jimmy staying healthy and running that offense the way it's supposed to be, right? Has to be. And then most importantly for me, number three, I think Charles took it away from me, is like know your fucking assignment. Discipline football. No, less turnovers, less mistakes. You think about the Rams game when Tillery lost his head and cost that fucking game. You know, the Arizona game, not being able to stop Arizona after so many tries at the end. Even Hunter, even though he got hit, like the fumble, like discipline, smart football, no turnovers, no stupid penalties, then we would go in the right direction. Those 6 or 7 close losses won't be losses this time. Those would be wins that would go towards our total.
Yeah, knowing your assignment is one of the most important things for me, especially from the offensive line, because if you look at last season, when we got into the red zone or we had momentum, false start.
Who was that?
Dropped
the most penalized? Was that Illuminor?
Illuminor. That's my boy.
Illuminor was the most penalized.
And I really hope that he improves on that because you learn this as a kid playing football. If the ball don't move, you don't move. Yeah. I don't care how many times he said hike. I don't care if he say blue 85 or whatever. If that ball don't move, you don't move. That's just most simplest thing as an offense.
That sounds easy.
Yeah.
Except when Bosa's over there licking his chops about to kill the quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they want that jump. They want that.
They like, man, I gotta get back there.
The ball
no, you're right though.
I get it, but sometimes you just gotta hold your ground. That you are a professional football player at the end of the day.
No, that's fact.
You get paid. You get paid to play that position for a reason.
You do, but you're still a human being who has to line up against this monster and know he's coming right at you. And he
you're gonna be lined up against the monster for the next 17 weeks, no matter who it is. You're gonna line up
People
against
get penalties. Hey, those tackles get penalties dealing with Max too.
Yeah.
You know, trying to guard him. They like, oh shit.
Well,
I'm about to try to block a maniac, man.
Yeah, and that would be number 4 for the officials to actually call holding on Max, asshole.
Oh my god,
He be getting mugged, raped, all kinds. Man, poor Max.
I legit think Max can lead the league in sacks this year. He has the most QB pressures. He's so close every time.
So close. And the thing is, especially if we can get some interior pressure, so get that quarterback off of the mark, so he's not like make him go to the left or right. Man, Max will definitely get.
That's how Max was getting to Mahomes in that Chiefs game. They were actually getting
right there,
the middle, and when Mahomes rolled out, right into Max's hands.
Yeah, make him get out the pocket.
And speaking of Max Crosby, I don't know if y'all watched the NFL Top 100.
I sure
did. But Max Crosby was 17 on this list. How do y'all feel about him being 17 on this list? Do you think he should be higher than 17?
I think I'm just proud of I'm proud with the jump from 59 to 17.
Yeah, I'm good with
That's a hell of a jump in one season. So I know he wants to be number 1. We all want him to be number 1, but that's a huge jump. So he can get there.
Goes back to what Daniel was saying, is the sacks. We know he's good. We know he gets the pressure, but he didn't have the sack number to be higher on the list. You know what I mean? If he would lead the league in sacks, he would have been even higher. Because look who was higher than him.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't even think Nick Bosa's in that top 10 though. Like even Nick Bosa, did he lead the league in sacks? If I'm not mistaken, was it Nick Bosa?
I know. Who was for the Eagles?
Hassan Reddick.
Reddick had a killer year. Bosa. I think they were the only two guys that made the All-Pro. There was the only two guys ranked, I guess, whatever, over Crosby.
No, the dude from the Cowboys,
Mike
Parsons. Oh yeah, Parsons. That's right.
Yeah, Parsons.
Here's the thing about Mad Max, though, right? He does what he does well. And I'm sure other guys do too. But what I feel like he does really well is never going to be seen in the stat sheet. Is he disrupts on every play in some way?
Yeah, it's that impact. It's that impact that he brings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even on the runs.
Right.
The story. I heard a story out of camp or whatever. I guess. So Max went off sides, right? So he's got to do his lap just like everybody else. So what does he do after he runs his lap? He tells coach, no, coach, I'm going back in to get my last 2 reps, even though it wasn't with the first team starters. He just went in. You know what I'm saying? That's just Max Crosby right there.
Yeah,
love it.
But on the list thing, I honestly hate those lists. I feel like they're super biased and just like they always leave a lot of people off that deserve to be on.
On my other channel on the Darian Hopkins Sports Show, when I tell you, I used to like this list until the last couple of years.
It's gotten so much worse. It gets worse every year.
It gets worse every year.
I like this one more than writers because it's players who rate these guys.
Yeah, but these players are, when you don't have a DK Metcalf in the top 100, something ain't right.
Yeah, I feel like they're not
DK Metcalf numbers ever since he came into the league.
Let me guess, is he all pro?
No, he's not all pro, but he's better than some of these receivers that's on his list, like Amar St. Brown from the Detroit Lions.
Not last year though.
Yes, he is.
It goes by last. I get.
Yeah, he didn't get busy last year, really.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I would for Metcalf, for the kind of player that he is. Last year was an off season for Metcalf.
Yeah,
what he could do.
I mean, he did have Geno Smith, which he did have a comeback season, but it's like there's different teams.
I don't know. I think
I can't stand Geno Smith, man. He's so trash. He is so trash to me. He is trash.
I'm still glad that he doesn't win that often against us. Oh,
who was coaching? Who made that terrible decision when they benched Eli to start Geno against us, and that's how we got that win that time?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah,
for the Giants, right?
Yep, for the Giants.
Yeah.
What's his name? Was it Ben McAdoo?
Was it? I can't even remember. Sounds right.
Damn,
Ben McAdoo was a retarded coach anyway. He's just retarded in himself. But Devontae Adams was 13 and Josh Jacobs was 12 on that list as well.
Which again, disrespectful to Devontae Adams, in my opinion, being what was he, like number 3 receiver overall or whatever? It was crazy that he was that far down the list. And
he was 13 and Josh Jacobs.
1 running back.
Yeah. But when you see who was ahead of him, though,
I know that was a
Justin
tough.
Jefferson.
Yeah, he topped some spots.
It's almost like where do you value positions? Kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what that list came about. Yeah.
So like, where do you value the receiver compared to a defensive end or whatever? So I don't know.
Yeah, obviously the QBs are normally going to get the top.
Now, as your number 1 and number 2 running backs, as far as Josh Jacobs and Saquon, when it comes to rushing, Saquon was at number 30 and Jacobs was at 12. Do you think they should have been closer to? You think Saquon should have? To me, I think Saquon should have been in the top 20, in my opinion. Number 30 is just asinine for me for a guy that's second in the league, right behind Josh Jacobs. So I think they both could have been in the top 20, and I think Jacobs probably could have been at least number 10 on this list instead of 12.
But that goes to valuing the position, like you were saying, because that position isn't valued. Ranked lower than other ones.
If you watch the show, you should see how much they talk about how they value the position. I said that's cat.
As much as the players do. The players do though. If you talk to any players,
I don't think it's just the players doing this vote though.
I don't know. I don't know.
You got to see where Jacobs came in this year and what was his rank last year.
Yeah, he was like, no, he wasn't even ranked last year.
He wasn't even ranked last year. That's one of the highest, like, into the fucking list rankings because they base it off last year, how you played and what you're going to do. Yeah.
That's why I like it. That's why I feel like it's not just a player's vote anymore because it goes into other aspects that those players don't know too much about.
Yeah.
That's just
Which is bad as the year Jacobs had last year. Let's be real. Like, how was he not in the top 100 last year?
Yeah, I was mad that he wasn't
That's
on it
again
last
why
year.
the list
Yeah.
is not valid in
Mhm.
my opinion.
Yeah. I was mad, but then again, we get the whole, freaking Raider fan eyes that we see players and we see them like, how is this dude not on the damn list?
I was just kind of nervous. I was like, I know Devontae Adams was going to make this. I know Josh Jacobs and Max Crosby. I'm like, if they would have put anybody else on this list, I would have kind of questioned it. I wouldn't have been sure. I mean, what other Raider from last year could have been on this list outside of those three?
No, just those three. I didn't see anybody
I was
else
just making sure we was all on
Yeah.
the same page there. Because
Carlson.
They don't
they ain't put no.
For real, Carlson was our dog, man. Like
he's
we couldn't score in the red zone. Bring Carlson in, man. Carlson was a monster.
If that's the case, you could throw Justin Tucker in there. Put some justice for the kickers, man. For the elite kickers. Justice for them. They players too. Just because they come out there once, twice, probably 5 times, depending on how much you score. Hey, they'll come out there and get you some.
Justin Tucker for Baltimore. Yeah, that dude. But the crazy part is, as shitty as we were or whatever, we had 3 players in the top 20. But did you see what team had 3 players in the top 10?
No, I didn't actually see the top 10 yet.
No,
I just knew Mahomes and Justin Jefferson was 1 and 2.
Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Kelsey are in the top 10.
Kelsey, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Those make sense.
Right? Why? Because they fucking win.
I hate to say it, but that makes sense.
I can't listen. I agree 100%. I don't like it, but the production it tells.
So when it comes to contract negotiations, I really hope the Chiefs fuck that one up.
Oh, what? Chris Jones?
Yeah, with Chris Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still out of camp right now too.
He is.
He's still out of camp right now. He's not even budging to come back into camp at all.
Because the thing is, like when you win a couple Super Bowls, now you're like, forget it. I want money now. Like I got my rings. I need to get that bag.
Yeah.
And he deserves it on that team.
He does. Yeah. No, he killed us. Like, man,
he killed a lot of freaking teams.
Yeah, he killed us.
So my question to y'all, I know Brian Young came back off the pulp list. He was able to come back and get into training camp. But what's going on with Tyree Wilson? I mean, he was our first round pick. They said he'll be back in a couple weeks. So what is really I don't know the injury. I knew it was like what a foot injury, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a foot injury he had last year.
He had surgery on, right?
So he had surgery on it. So
yeah.
What are your expectations when he comes back into practice? Do you put him right in with the rest, or do you baby him through preseason?
I don't think they're babying him. They just want to make sure that the foot's fully healed before they put him on the field, so it doesn't get any worse. But he still has to go through, his meetings and positions. Yeah. He's doing all that.
Yeah,
so he's still doing all that other stuff that he needs to do. He's not just like, oh, I'm hurt, I'm not doing anything. I think because I somebody said it on your show last time, Chris. I can't remember, and I don't like when they say it, but the easiest position to play is defensive end.
I said that.
You said that.
It's
so
true
when they
though.
go out there, like they know what to do. They know what they're gonna do. They have one job basically, right? Get to the fucking quarterback and blow it up. So once he's healed, he knows what to do. Right now, he's just studying all the other stuff that he needs to learn as far as defenses, the X's and O's. But I'm not worried about it.
Knowing what to do, though, and knowing what to do at this level, I think are two different things, right? Because you hear people say over and over and over again, these players going from college to the NFL is such a huge difference. The pace, the strength, and all that kind of stuff. So he's definitely going to need to be out there. Knowing what to do is one thing, but I think having the NFL experience versus the college experience is totally different.
That part is very, very true, especially when you get into the conferences that they come from.
Right.
I know Jamar Chase said the other day about Burrow. He was like, he wants him in a sense to just wait until he's fully healthy to come back.
Yeah,
so I'm in the same boat. Like when he's healthy, bring him back and fire him up, and it's all go mode. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of view it.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, you have we have Chandler Jones, and we hope Chandler Jones steps up, and then you've got this rookie who we hope is going to be really good and be on the team for years to come. So I don't think there's any rush to get him in there. Make sure he heals, make sure he's prepared. And then once he's healed and prepared, I say let him and Chandler Jones fight it out.
Well, you were at the camp. Did you see Chandler Jones?
Yeah.
How did he look to you?
I mean, Yeah.
Lost a lot of weight.
I mean, he looks fine. He looks fine. I think, I kind of compare him to Mad Max. I kind of compare a lot of the players to Mad Max, even in different positions.
Yeah.
And they just don't attack the same. You see someone like Max out in front of everybody. You see him jumping higher. You see him more aggressive, and that's why he got the lap and things of that nature. So I kind of want to see that from Chandler Jones, especially if some new rookie could potentially be coming for your position.
Right, he got drafted too.
Max is just so different. Like as much as we want to see it, it's hard to compare. Like if you compare everyone to Max, you're gonna think everyone else sucks.
Like
because I mean he got such a motor. He's such a beast. But I mean,
we got to remember that Max wasn't a first round or a second round or a third round pick. He came in with the adversity, like, listen, I'm going to be the best in the league, and I'm going to let everybody know that I am the best in the league. So he came in with that chip on his shoulder from the rip. Now, Chandler Jones, I don't know when he was picked, but I just know that he has to. For me, Chandler Jones have to improve from last year. Yes, we saw on tape how he could be disruptive, but it has to show a little bit more for me in the stat line. People want to go off that 1 year that he was with Arizona before he came here. He had all them sacks. Most of them sacks came in one game. So people have to fail to realize, like, Chandler Jones is going to have to take it up a notch if this defense wants to be any better, especially on that front seven.
And then he went from like 10 to 4 or something like that. And 4 is just not going to be enough, especially when you've got 12 on the other side.
Yeah.
So
another thing I love about Max, and they showed it in that quarterback thing, is like it's almost like comparing it to hockey. It's like when you have the guys that just always finish their checks, they're so pesty, feisty. It's like he's walking that line, you know what I mean? And I love it. You know what I mean? He walks that line.
I love it.
Look how mad Patrick Mahomes was. I
love that part.
Punch him in the
not
gut.
only does he have the highest motor, but like, you know what I mean? He's going to give you everything and even a little bit more. It's like,
I love that. I love that.
I want to go to the game just to wear a sign like keep punching him, Max. Like,
I mean, you never know what type of signs you're going to see this season. You just never know. Just never know what type of signs you're going to see this season. But the state of the AFC West, this is another topic from Leo that he wanted to talk about. Where are we ranking the Raiders in this division as of today?
I hate questions like this.
Why?
Leo said it in the group chat, Chris. I'm surprised you ain't see it. He said it. This is not my topic.
4th, 3rd at best.
Spicy, is that intercept wines you got down there?
It's not actually. Okay. I happen to be drinking them 19 Crimes, but Intercept Wines is really good as well.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I got the Woodson whiskey, but I want to get the wine as well. But I agree with you. I think 3 right now. I don't think 4, just because I don't respect Denver enough, especially when we own them right now. Again, it's like the Russell Wilson has won 10 games in 2 seasons. So his last year with Seattle was even bad, and people forget. It's like he's had 2 bad years in a row. So I'm not giving them any credit until, in a sense, they show me something. So I've got us stuck in 3rd. But again, we can go either. We could go 4th, but I also think we could go 2nd if the Chargers choke. So anywhere from 2 to 4.
Well, it really
Chargers got a bad coach.
It really depends on how Brandon Staley runs that team, because they have all the talent in the world. And
with Kellen Moore,
Kellen Moore. That's when we're not going to get 2nd.
To me, until they prove it me wrong. I mean, they gonna be 2nd, but they gonna be choking again, basically. So I mean, it's proven, because even with Kellen Moore being with the Cowboys last year, he choked as an offensive coordinator. He went to the Chargers. They choked. So 2 chokers together. I take it. But I have to go 3 as well until proven, because of course Chargers on paper look really good. They had a really good draft. Chiefs is going to be the Chiefs. They're going to be number 1 as of right now, until one of us dethrone them. And Denver hasn't proven nothing to me. We have owned the Denver Broncos for how many years now, and how swept them for how many years? the donkeys could kick rocks. You could kick them off your board on a Monopoly game. You're like, okay, I just bought rent. You could just get the hell. You paid your rent. Get the hell out of here. That's how I feel about the donkeys at this point. But yeah, I have to go with 3, rank 3 as well for the Raiders. What you think, Leo?
Well, the reason I want to bring it up because it gets on my nerves when you watch all this shit. Like everybody has us out already for that very reason. Because the Chiefs are the Chiefs are number 1. I'll give them that shit, right? Yeah. But they're already crowning. They're already crowning San Diego. I'm gonna always call them San Diego. I don't care. I can't call them LA. It's hard for me.
Then we should always just call them Oakland while we're at it.
Yes.
If we're going by that logic.
So number 2, they have the Chargers, 3 Broncos, and then us, right? The way I see it, there's only one that's established is Kansas City. The Chargers have to prove that they can still not choke like they normally do. We still give them a run for the money every fucking year, whether we suck or not, right? We've owned Denver. So the thing is, if we can stay committed, disciplined, and with fucking McDaniels improving this team, I don't see why we can't be 2 or 3. This thing about us being the bottom of the West because of our players and shitty this, and we don't have Jacobs, like, I think our division is open as far as for that 2nd, 3rd position. And we can fucking get that spot. I really think we can get 2 or 3. 4, no way. I don't see us being 4. I've made bets with people already who said we're going to end up in 4.
Yeah, I don't see us being 4 either. Not having the donkeys over us. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Chris, how you ranking it, Chris? Because I know you hate this topic in itself. You've been
it's one of those things. There's always so many variables, man. So you know how I feel. You know how I feel. If JJ's playing, I think we can get 2. I really do.
I do.
I think we can beat the Chargers. It's going to be tough, but I have a lot of confidence in what our offense can be because, for one, people forget JJ ran that way last year in the first year of that scheme, and this year we have a lot of continuity in that offensive line. They're going to get better. JJ's going to run it better. Like I think he's going to be better. We're going to be better in the red zone. We're going to be better in 3rd downs, and our defense is going to be better. I think just those improvements, just that, is going to put us right there
in the mix.
Yeah, in the mix, man. In the mix.
Yeah, you all got me drinking the Kool-Aid. Let me ask you this, Chris. What do you think the number 2, the Raiders come in 2nd? What's the record?
For if
the Raiders come in 2nd, yeah.
I think we could be 2nd with 10 or 11 wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can.
You sure about that? I mean 11 wins. Yeah, I mean, I
think there's going to be a lot of splitting.
They won 13 games last year.
There's going to be a lot of splitting in our division.
Chargers.
No,
the Chargers were 10-7.
10-7.
Oh, they was 10-7. Okay, then that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I thought they won more than 10 last year.
I don't know what I'm saying. I think we get
Chiefs won 13, right?
The Chiefs, I think, were 13-4, 10-7, 6-11, and then 5-12.
Yeah, it's about 5-12 for Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 5-12. But 11 games, yeah, I can. If we could be in 2nd, I'll be on if we could do 12 games, I'll be more comfortable with 12.
Well, you think about our predictions when the schedule came out.
Listen, I already put it out there. Me and Leo put it out there. We did our unrealistic bold predictions schedule. We did our unrealistic and we did our realistic.
Can I tell you this real quick? Side note here. So I did my schedule prediction show when the schedule came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I had them going 12-5.
See?
Hold on.
I was on that show.
After a day of drinking at the Aria pool party. And I didn't know any better. So liquid courage.
I was on that show. I think I got him. I think I had us at 12 wins too, I think.
I think you did. I think when you did the schedule, because me and Leo did it, and I think we did 12 wins, right?
We did 12.
And then we said, what was our unrealistic? Was like 9.
Hold on,
9
can I for a little funny? Can I interject? Moon, come back real quick. May I interject, guys?
There.
Mother Moon in the house.
And this might be a good plug for Chris. This might be a good plug for what Chris and I have going on. So I asked Mother Moon for some more wine.
Yes.
Hold on. Not only is this full, this is a port, a 12-year tawny.
Oh damn.
The legs on this, I'm like, this is supposed to be in a glass this smaller than a shot
Mother
glass.
Moon, pour me up a drink.
Damn, I know.
Speaking of this, now this is a good segue. Can we have a second, real quick?
Yeah,
go ahead, bro.
I was gonna get into it right after we got into we was done that topic. But go ahead.
No. Okay, we'll finish. My bad. We'll finish.
We actually done. I mean, I think Chris. I think me and Leo said what 9 and 8 realistically.
Oh, afterwards, yeah. I said depending on how close we get to preseason, the lowest we saw was 9 and 8. But we were still high on that was our low. You asked me what our low is now, I'm gonna tell you something different. Especially with this whole JJ situation.
We did that when the schedule officially came out. So once it's all going to change. We said subject to change on our schedule.
Mm-hmm. See,
so
we were
going Chris, take it away, man. Take it away, y'all. Y'all got it.
Well, nah, hold on. I'm gonna talk about mine too. Now, see,
that's what Go ahead, my guy, you got it.
Nah, but cause mine was mine's always based on JJ. I'm starting everything on JJ. I think. Remember when I did it? I think without JJ, I had us winning like 4 or 5 games or something crazy, and then with them, I think I had us at like 11 games or so. So I think we're gonna be all right, man. We just got to make them happy. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see.
What about you, Daniel? When you saw the schedule come out, what was your realistic and unrealistic?
Realistic, the highest win total I think I got to was either 8 or 9. And that was being super optimistic or whatever. So I had us at probably like I think originally I had us at 7 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if we don't have JJ on the team, it's gonna be a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't even have like a Raider goggle prediction like we did.
Oh well, like I said, 9 wins. 9 wins was my goggles. I couldn't really get to 10.
Oh, wow, that was holy shit. That's crazy.
So, I just try to be realistic as possible. So if I set my expectations really low and we exceed them, right? I'm very excited.
You're good.
Yeah, that's right. Complete opposite. When the season starts, we win the Super Bowl every fucking year. Oh, I was so hyped last season before it started. Oh my god.
Yeah. See, I put too much expectations on the team last year, and it disappointed me so much that I have so much gray hair under this hat. So, yeah, I really want to take this hat off. I'm growing gray hairs like every day because of how the Raiders was playing last season. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, okay, Josh McDaniels might be a difference maker than what he was when he was in Denver. Let's win 11 games and be fine. Yeah, that didn't turn out the way it was supposed to turn out. So
yeah, and it's funny because I have 2 younger nephews, and I'm bringing them up as Raider fans. You know, one's 7, the other one's 15, and they witnessed the 2021 team. They were like so excited we made the playoffs.
Right.
So then coming into 2022, they were ready for us to go all the way to the AFC Championship against the Chiefs. Like these fools were ready because my brother's a Chiefs fan. They're like, oh, we're gonna go against the Chiefs. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl. And then last year happened, and yeah. And I told them because they were all sad. And I told them, welcome to being a Raider fan. This is what happens.
Yeah, get used to it.
Drank the Kool-Aid since I was a little kid, and so long, it's like I just can't do it anymore.
Right.
So I gotta, you know what I mean?
I will never stop drinking the Raider Kool-Aid.
It's hard when I had family members live in Oakland, and I used to come up there every summer, and I didn't even have a football team then. And my uncle is, when I say diehard, he has VHS tapes. He has like history of when he went to the games at LA, when he went to the games at Oakland, and now going to the games in Las Vegas is so much. When I say the whole house is Raidered out, it's not one section of the house. It's the actual house. It's the Raiders' house. That's what he called it. He called it his Raider mansion. So going up there every summer as a kid, that's what made me fall in love with the team. And he teaching me the history and, the mystique of being a Raider fan and all of that. That's what made me become a Raider fan. But Chris, you have an announcement to make, don't you?
I do. So me and my lovely friend Spicy Raider Girl, we are actually forming a show that's actually going to start tomorrow, and it's called the Spicy. Wait, what do we call it? The Spicy Shield
Spicy
Talk.
Shield Talk.
And it's gonna be Wednesday,
Ooh.
and the theme is Wine Down Wednesday. So every Wednesday we're gonna drink our wine, talk football. It's gonna be a fun, interactive show.
Yes.
Spicy. You can kind of put your spin on it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when we say interactive. We are gonna give our opinions about football, of course, and how we feel about it, but we're also have a lot of fun segments that will be very interactive, as well as call-ins as well. So make sure to tune in. We're gonna do it every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So please join us, join the fun. Like he said, it's going to be very interactive. So we're kind of the co-host of everyone that's watching, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. We want
I'm gonna be in the building for that. I'm
Yeah, you
definitely.
got
Thank
to.
you.
You know,
be up late, bro. 10.
especially once the
Listen, I don't go to sleep till at least 4 a.m. every day. So it's like I'm used to it.
and I mean, all I know is I need Mother Moon to pour up my wine glasses because that's how you do it. That's how you wind
Right?
down Wednesday right there. Shout out to Mother Moon.
So does it start tomorrow?
Yeah, starting tomorrow. We're just
Alright,
gonna kind of pilot it off, but generally, during the season, we're gonna have time where we're gonna talk about the previous game, and then we're also gonna, spend some time talking about the upcoming game. That's why we kind of got it in the middle of the week. So it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have just little games and a lot of interaction and
throw some Raiders
calling
trivia
in,
in
all
there.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Huh?
we have
Throw some Raiders trivia in there.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. You never know what you're gonna get at the Spicy Shield Talk.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun little segments, and so that's why it's our pilot episode. We're gonna see what our viewers like, and it's always gonna grow, but yeah, we're excited about it. We've been kind of itching to announce this for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, we have.
So thank you for allowing us this platform.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm always here to promote Raider content creators. Listen, I love it. I actually love the name. That name is fire. It's fire to me. Like I wish I would have thought of something like that. But hey,
we were throwing out some stuff. In fact, we had a nice drinking brainstorming session, and I think that's when it came out.
Yeah, we did. We did for sure.
We were just throwing stuff out, and we were like, "Bam, that's it."
I can
And
see
it's
that.
funny, and it's funny you say fire. If we want to debut the logo, it's there. If you want to share it,
gotcha. Boom, boom,
boom, boom.
Sneak peek.
Let's get it.
Oh, that's cool.
That is
that's
hot,
dope.
yo. That is fire. See, that was kind of like my vision of looking at the shield and having the Spicy Shield Talk. It was kind of like my vision in my head, but the cartoons, the avatars, or whatever
look at my drip though, the shoes.
Right? Yeah, it's fire, dude.
Oh, Chris, I gotta see what
dripped up too. Spicy dripped up too.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. The
She
head
killing me.
area,
She killing me.
the head area remind me of DeMarcus Cousins a little bit. You know, with the headband and everything.
Yeah.
So it gives me a little bit of DeMarcus Cousins.
The funny thing is, usually when I go to games, I wear like a bandana like that. And
You do?
Oh.
Yeah, I usually have like a bandana, like Tupac style.
Okay.
It depends. It depends on my mood though. And plus, I usually have like my beards out, so what you're seeing now. But it's all good. It don't matter. It's all about Spicy. Spicy look fresh right there in that picture. She made me add some earrings. At first, we didn't have earrings.
I know. I always got my earrings on.
Yeah, we had the earrings though.
Well, they did this very well. Whoever did this logo is absolutely amazing.
It's gonna be hard to make that one into a hat, Chris. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I'm about to tell you, I don't know if we're gonna make this one into a hat though.
What you could really do
probably
is
just the shield without the
You
character.
just do the shield part. Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, if you just take y'all two off and then have the shield on the front, I mean, you could revise it that way too. So
that's good
Plus,
point.
this I think this just kind of shows to the show is really going to be fun and interactive, and I think this kind of lends itself to that. It's the caricature, the animation, and it kind of lends itself to the vibe of the show.
Cool.
Sure.
I'm excited to look at the intro. I wonder if y'all gonna have these two in the intro. That would be so dope.
We're still working on that.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
This is, remember, this is just the pilot. This is the pilot.
Yeah, this is a pilot. Y'all ain't gonna get everything tomorrow. So
yeah.
We gotta make sure y'all
I know you
keep
guys have
coming
been
back.
talking. They should have debuted last Wednesday. You guys are already behind. What's going on?
It's probably my fault.
They had to make sure
It's probably my fault because Spicy was ready. I think she was like, she was like, dude, we're doing this or not? I'm like, another week.
Yeah,
like we're not there yet.
We actually thought about it because last Wednesday is when I went to training camp. So we were like, hey, this will be a good opportunity. We could talk about training camp. I'll have some video and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we just wanted to come out a little stronger. So we decided to just postpone it a little bit.
That makes sense. That's cool.
So make sure you guys tune in, man.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna have to give my kudos to Daniel because I think me, Chris, and Leo talked about a fantasy football league for the Nothing But Raiders podcast. But when Daniel came into my inbox and talking about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to do it, and see how this is going to work out. So we have our first annual fantasy football league. We have 3 more slots left for this league. We're going to be going live for the draft, which is September 5th, which is that Tuesday before the Thursday night game. Only reason why I always do it that way because I want to make sure that every player that we get is available due to injuries. So you just never know with injuries. So I always do it that Tuesday before the actual kickoff show. So talk a little bit about it, Daniel, as far as like value and giving people a head start in this league. I mean, Spicy, if you want to be a part of it, I can send you the link.
Send me the link. What are the details? Maybe I'll look into it. I have to admit, I've never done fantasy football ever, though.
Oh, no? Oh, that'd be.
Oh, well, Daniel, you're right here. You are the fantasy guru. That's why I have you on this show. So, I think when it comes to the lineup, is it like 2 running backs, 3
one
receivers?
Quarterback, 2 running backs.
Yeah, it depends on setup. It's personal preference, but normally it's 1 quarterback. You'll have 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 kicker, 1 defense. But then you have those flex spots, which means you can kind of start either running back or tight end. I mean, running back or receiver, or possibly tight end in those 1 or 2 flex spots you have. Just depending on, again, league settings or whatever.
Are we doing just defense or defensive player also?
No, we're just doing defense. See,
Individual,
defensive player would have made the draft longer than it would be. So it would have trying to get defensive players. It would have been like 20 rounds if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I have boards, like I said, all around this room I'm in, and so draft weekend it's normally the same time every weekend. Like August 25th is going to be my first draft, and then I'll have a live draft where we do it on the boards, and then I'll have one on the 26th, and I have another one on the 30th, all where you do on the boards.
How many draft leagues are you in?
That's what he does, man.
Yeah, probably
I'm only in 3, and I'm sticking to that.
And better yet, do you choose the same players? Oh no, I guess you can't, right? Because the draft is different.
I mean, you could, but I don't like putting all my eggs in the same baskets.
Yeah.
Like even though last year I did have, I think it was 4 or 5 leagues, and I had 4 or 5 shares of Josh Jacobs. So not always bad, but I try to stay away from that. But yes, defensive, I'm looking at the board, and it's 21 rounds long.
Okay.
So if you want to get defensive players, right?
Yeah, the individual defensive players. It's much longer.
Do y'all really think y'all want to be on a draft live that long?
We don't need to do that long. No, let's just keep it. Yeah.
No. Chris said no.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I bet if you had some wine, you would stay.
Huh?
I bet if you had some wine, you would stay.
Oh yeah, if motherfuckers pouring up, I might stick around a little bit.
Just give me a bottle of 21 grand. I'll be fine with that. With the 21 grand, because I only drink dark. I don't drink no clear. All I drink is dark. So, or just order me a bottle of wooden whiskey. I could do that too. So I might do that for the draft, for the live draft. So at 8:00, like we do on a regular Nothing But Raiders podcast, that's going to be our episode, which is going to be the draft live, September 5th, that Tuesday.
Someone's asking if they can join.
And that should be a blast. That live draft we're going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be. Actually, I always do my live drafts every year when I do it on my other channel. I never really did a Raiders one before, so this is my first time having Raiders fans and content creators being on all at once. Some Raiders content creators turned it down because they said they just want to root for the Raiders. So I understand your loyalty, but I mean it's fantasy football. Let's have some fun. I didn't think of what the prize would be yet. Whoever wins the whole league in itself. But I would think of something. I
thought
something.
fantasy football was like you paid to play and then you win a pot.
No,
normally,
you can, but I don't. I for our first annual, I didn't want it to be about money at all. So I just wanted to have content creators, could have a friendly competition at least.
Spicy's all like, never mind.
Yeah, I'll pitch in if you want to get a trophy or a belt, because those are like, they're good options either way. Yeah,
awesome.
right.
And the belts are expensive though. We have one on one of our other leagues. They're like anywhere from 150 to 250. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you could find on, I mean, yeah, you could do that. I mean, or we could do like a league trophy or something of that nature, or a prize of. We already did the giveaway with the jersey part, so we want to do something a little, different.
How many contestants total?
2010.
Only 10 of us.
2010.
Oh, 10?
Yeah, because if you make it too big, then it when you
it takes
draft,
long.
you won't be able to draft a good team with more people in the league.
Oh, I see.
You would, but you really got to do your research when you get that.
Well, hey, if you don't mind a rookie, because I have never played, I'm happy to join. But if you want more seasoned players, you can give those spots to whomever.
I'm gonna give you this one tip.
Okay.
Don't pick all Raiders players.
Oh, of course not.
She won't.
I at least know that much.
I mean, because
she thinks we're going to be fourth in the division. She's not going to pick that.
Yeah. I at least figure out that much. Come on, give me a little more credit.
I know some people. I know some people that would pick the same players and pick the same players from the players from the same team, and they all got the same bye week. And now you're running around substituting, trying to figure out how you're going to switch people out during the week because you have like 5 players that's in week 10. So
that's gonna sound crazy, but also wait on quarterback. You don't need to go quarterback early. That sounds wild, but it's just how it works.
Yeah, that's one place they value running backs is in fantasy.
Yes. If you want to find the value,
only place they value fantasy. That's the only place they value.
The only place you value running backs. That if you want to go in the first round and get a running back, that's where they value that in fantasy, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But Boogie Vargas, if you do want to come into the league, just make sure you hit me up on Instagram at NBRPod1. And we'll talk more about it. Raider Resistance says, keep up the good work. I like to see this grow. Thank you so much, bro. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate all y'all coming on to the show. I think this was a dope show. Talking Raider football, talking football in general. Football is back, and I am excited. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of all the.
And we actually played this weekend.
Yeah. Is anyone going to be at Vegas? In Vegas for the game?
See, I think me.
Nah, I'm not going this time.
You going Spicy?
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Spicy gonna be there. See, I'm already on the East Coast, so it's really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll be there, and I'll be at probably most of the Woodson Whiskey events. As some of you guys know, like For Life of Raider Story, myself, Mother Moon, we're brand ambassadors now. So we'll be out there at most of the events are at Mandalay Bay. There's one at Luxor. So we'll be out. So yeah, if you're in town, hit us up because we'll be out and about.
Didn't y'all have a giveaway going on as well too for Whiskey?
We did, yeah, for some merch. So yeah, hit us on Instagram For Life or Raider Story. And we have some giveaways, and of course we have the season opener party back in Oakland, California, San Leandro to be technical.
It'll be fun.
We've got a 300+ party going on for the season opener on September 10th, 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. So that should be fun as well.
At Ricky's.
So everybody want to go around the panel, and I mean I think Spicy Raider Girl already put.
I kind of did it improperly, yeah.
Kind of did it, of course. I mean, for me, NBR Pod 1 on both Twitter and Instagram. Same thing, Nothing But Raiders Podcast on Facebook. Same thing for YouTube. I'm thinking about opening up a TikTok, but I'm already have too much stuff going on. Chris see me. I'm bouncing back and forth from 2 channels on a daily basis. So it's just like I don't know if I want to do that just yet, but I'm thinking about it.
Can I just say really quickly, like Chris knows this, I just started using my TikTok maybe within the last
It
2
grows
months.
fast.
It's the
Mhm.
fastest
It
growing,
grows fast.
however you want to say it, networking app there is. I mean, you get so many followers per day. If you have good content, you have so many viewers. One of my videos has already hit like 12,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, I wish I would have started it sooner. So if you're thinking about it, I would say go for it.
Because the thing is, I already have my personal TikTok, and then I have my Darian Hopkins sports show. So to make a third TikTok,
Fair enough.
it's gonna be tough. I mean, Leo, can you help me out with the TikTok, brother?
Yeah, I used to use it differently. Now I start doing Raider stuff, so I haven't used it for that. But yeah, you definitely can blow up that way. That's how MC
Yeah.
Raider. Remember, he's the voice that a lot
Yeah.
of people use for like you wear your Raider gear all year. That's his voice, and a lot of people have.
Oh, I
used
didn't know
it.
that.
Yeah, that's his voice. That was his TikTok. So yeah, but TikTok. The only thing with, like you said, it does take time. You got to make your videos.
Yeah.
And the content
Yeah.
has to be good for sure.
Yeah.
Cheeto Linus, let them know where they can find you at, bro.
Same thing, bro. On Instagram, Cheeto Linus. Follow me up there. I got a lot of the new jerseys coming out as well, as well as the shirts. Once the season starts dropping, I think I showed you guys 2 of them, right? One that said "fuck the Chiefs," and then there was another one. So
Yeah.
those are like probably the first ones that are gonna start coming out because, like, I mean, as a Raider fan right now, it really is like "fuck the Chiefs." That's my main thing. I'm tired of them winning, bro. My brother's a fan. You don't get it. I hear that shit here at the house all the time.
Oh, just imagine my brother's a Niners fan, so I deal with it all the time. My brother's a Niners fan.
Yeah,
So-
but they lose. They lose. The fucking Chiefs have been winning. Like, that's
But you know,
fucking
Niners
shit.
fans, they just as
them.
worse as Chiefs fans. They will say anything in the world, but
Yeah.
you can go ahead,
No,
bro. My
yeah.
bad.
It'd be cool, you know, to look forward to going to Vegas, going to the games, traveling. I'm gonna go to Miami after all, Chris. I will see you out there. I will see you out there. But yeah, just follow us and thank you everyone for joining us on the shop.
Where they can find you at, Daniel? Where they can find you at, brother?
Right now, just on Instagram, DanielRay24. First of all, thank you guys for having me on. Also, it's been a pleasure. Trying to get my own thing here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Get a little fantasy thing going up here on YouTube, so we'll see how that goes. I do got a little random question here at the end for you because I was thinking about this today and just like how wild that Patriots game ended last year, right? And
Woo! I was there.
Just what is, regardless of how many games this year, what is, I guess, how is one game going to end? Whether, you know, a walk off like Devontae touchdown or like a Daniel Carlson field goal. Mine is honestly, I think, and I don't know who, if it's going to be Hobbs or even Peters, Bennett maybe, but I think we're going to get more interceptions this year, but I think that's going to seal one of our wins. It's going to be a huge interception from one of the young guns.
That'd be sweet. That'd be real sweet.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see us beat Kansas City by strip sacking Mahomes. And we run that shit back.
And it'd be Max Crosby.
Man, I would do laps all over the pizza co that we go to. Oh my Lord, would I?
Yeah, what does Will
I'm
Ferrell
gonna
say?
go
I'm
on a
going
limb.
streaking.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Jacorian Bennett get a pick 6 for a touchdown for the
Love
win.
it. Love it.
Chris, where they can find you at, brother?
Protect the Shield podcast on everything, you know.
Shield Squad.
Shield Squad.
Shield Squad, Facebook, Threads. I don't know why I'm on Threads, but
Oh, you got on Threads?
yeah, I'm
I
on there.
hate Threads.
I
I told
know,
Chris
it's
about it, and Chris
definitely
like it
whack.
now. I'm the one that told Chris about it.
Yeah, you told me about it. I'm like, this is whack. You know, so TikTok, IG, Instagram. I'm starting to build up my Twitter now. So, but yeah, check us out. Do a lovely show with you guys. Got a great show with Spicy. So, and I got my show on Friday, Fan Talk Friday.
Awesome. So with me, the upcoming things that I have coming up for this channel, I'm going back to my reaction Mondays once the season start. That's a fan calling show that I do for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And Wednesdays I'm gonna go back to doing preview shows with the opponent content creators. So I usually do that, have the opponent content creators come up and we'll do like a preview show, trash talk. Has some fun, no friendly trash talk. But if it's the division, I'm trash talking for real. So the division is not off limits, but everybody else is off limits. The division is not. And usually that's basically what of course, Nothing But Raider podcast is still gonna be going on Tuesdays, same time, same place, and play-by-plays. I'm gonna be doing the play-by-plays on the channel here for all the Raiders games if I'm not going to a Raiders game. So that's basically what I have going on here. Boogie Vargas asked us one more question. He said, what rookie are y'all guys excited to see on Sunday? I think we asked this question before, but just to reiterate, just give us one player and then we could be, head out. We could be done for the show.
I'll give you one on each. I'm gonna go Trey on offense and Bennett on defense.
Ooh, I'll do O'Connell on offense, and Wilson's not there. Wilson's the one I wanted to see, but Amari Burry on defense.
I'm gonna go a little against the grain. I want to see Nesta Jade Severa on defense.
That's your boy out.
He is, man. He may not even make the squad, man, but hey, he's a dog. And then I want to see it got to be Trey. I gotta see Trey since he took my boy's spot. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Spicy Girl.
Sorry, I thought never mind. I'm gonna go O'Connell offense and Tyree on defense once he gets in there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go O'Connell on offense and on defense. This is a tough one. As far as rookies go, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I want to see what Byron Young do at defensive tackle. So
I like it.
That's what he's an SEC guy. I wanted to say my guy, my 1 year guy, Matthew Butler, Tennessee.
I was waiting for Matthew Butler.
That's my guy, man. Tennessee Vols all day. That's my favorite college right there. But thank y'all so much for tuning in to a great show. Thank you, Spicy Raider Girl. Thank you, Daniel, for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's kind of hard because I think we talked on Instagram and I was asked you to come on the show if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was somebody else that was writing, but I was asked to be a guest. It seemed like we always had like a misscheduling of how things work. I'm not.
It's all good. I brokered the deal, man. It's all good. You got me here, man. I brokered the deal. I got her here. I got the Spicy Girl here.
I always tune into her. I always tune into their shows. I love their shows so much. I always
she's fire. She's definitely fire, man.
Yeah, they definitely have some fire shows. So
yeah, we'll have to do it more often. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, I would love to. But thank y'all so much, everybody in the chat. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for everything. Episode 30 is next week, y'all. The 30th episode of the show is definitely going to be epic. It's going to be fun. Already? Yeah, we're going on 30 already, yo. So hey, it's going to be fun, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to everybody on here. Follow them on all the social medias. If you did not hear it, make sure you run this back and hear it again. And we're out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Peace, love, and blessings. Out of here.
I love Oakland too, Danny.
See y'all later. Peace.
Right.